Finally, when I had enough, I just decided to kill myself. And then this happened. At first I thought, another level? Fuck yeah! And a 1-up. But then you enter level 10. What the fuck is this? It's the definition of unplayable. I thought killing myself was gonna be better than that green skull fucker, but this is even worse. For those wondering, this is Strike 3. This is the worst game I've ever played in my entire fucking life. There's no consistency, no plot, no good characters, and no good gameplay. And shit that doesn't make sense, shit that glitches, shit that fucks with your mind, and worst of all, most parts of the game are fucking unplayable. I had already come up with a rating for this game when I was going into it, but now that I got to the glitch level, I had to make a new rating. This game gets the prestigious honor of Rest in Piss. It's hard to believe that I reviewed Cheetahmen exactly 1 year ago today. It's even harder to believe that I've made over 60 videos, gotten over 700 subscribers, and reached 100,000 video views. Now, while this is mostly due to you guys, and I thank you for it, as much as I hate to admit it, it's also due to a lot of shitty games. They say you never forget your first, and I certainly still haven't. Cheetahmen was the 50-second slap in the face packaged into the notoriously bad Action 52. Plagued with game-crippling glitches, horrendous level design, and terrible gameplay mechanics, it shouldn't be hard to see why Cheetahmen received the first ever Rest in Piss. I still remember playing the game and getting to the part with the green skull in level 4, which I absolutely could not hit. Then in complete desperation, I decided to kill myself, and that's when I found level 10. No one is really sure what level 10 is, other than a glitch level. Some speculate that it's a beta level that wasn't removed from the cartridge, others think that it's a level from a completely different game like Ooze. However, this seems unlikely given that level 10 has a boss, and it looks like a deformed version of the real final boss. I myself see it as nothing but foreshadowing. Level 10 is a glitched fucking mess that is almost 100% impossible to beat without the use of save states. The exact same would also apply for Cheetahmen 2. I'm sure you saw that and had a good laugh, but I've seen that intro about 10 goddamn times now, and there are so many problems with it that it makes my head spin. For starters, this music that is playing in the background is ripped directly from Action 52's Fuzz Power. That's right, no work went into creating new music for this. The opening music is from the original Action 52, and the music that plays throughout the entire game is the Cheetahmen theme. The actual story in this game doesn't make any fucking sense either. Dr. Morbus is back, with a new subhuman. He wants to stop the evil Cheetahmen from ruining his evil plans. First of all, who the hell is Dr. Morbus? Where did he go? Why is he returning? And what's a subhuman? These are all questions that are answered in the Cheetahmen comic book. That's right. In this world, there exists a comic book detailing the origin and adventures of the Cheetahmen. Dr. Morbus is an evil piece of shit who shoots the Cheetahmen's mother and injects the Cheetahmen with some sort of formula that makes them subhumans. Then after raising the Cheetahmen for 15 years, he decided to tell them his plan about robbing a village of their goods. Excuse me, but what the fuck? He raises them for 15 years, and his plan all along was just to steal something? As you can see, the storytelling here is just as god-awful as the actual game. The Cheetahmen turn on him, but he manages to escape. I'd like everyone watching this to keep something in mind. This comic book was packaged in with the original Action 52, where the Cheetahmen story is that they live inside of a game. and they have to help the action game master. There's not a single mention of Dr. Morbus, although villains from the comic book are present in the game. So I must ask, why does the original Cheetahmen story have nothing to do with the story of the comic book, but the sequel does? Furthermore, in one story, the Cheetahmen are video game characters, but in another, they're creatures that exist in the real world. It may seem like I'm nitpicking here for stupid reasons, but if you can't even keep your simplistic and painfully generic story consistent, it doesn't bode too well for the game. Getting back to the story, Dr. Morbus decides to create a new subhuman, the Ape-Man. By the way, I'm just gonna let you know right now, the Ape-Man is not the final boss in this game. That's right, the strongest subhuman yet is only the level 4 boss. Or is it level 3? I don't know, because there's a glitch that screws up the names of the levels. You just can't make this sort of stuff up, people. Oh yeah, and you see how the Ape-Man is red here? Well, he's green in the actual game. It turns out that there's another glitch which turns him green in the middle of the cutscene. Are these things here supposed to be the Cheetahmen? Because they kinda look like Winnie the Pooh. And also, what the fuck is an expirement? Like I said, you just can't make this stuff up. The last two slides basically say the same thing. Stop Dr. Morbus, blah blah blah. But there's one problem. The last slide is ripped directly from Cheetahmen 1. It's the same fucking picture. I can't even imagine how much work didn't go into this game. And this is the opening cutscene. The game is so much worse. I'm not even sure I can do this. Play another Cheetahmen game? I don't think I have it in me, guys.
You fucking pussy!
What the fuck?
You played me, but you can't play these jerk-offs!
Bubsy, you don't understand. And how the hell are you even alive?
That's not important, Dicksbag69! You have to play this game, or everything you've spent a year reviewing will mean nothing!
Wait, why?
Because I said so! Now play the fucking game!
Fine, I'll do it, just shut the fuck up! Well, let's see how far I can make it before dying. Right, just what I thought. When I have to use save states in the first section of the first level of your game, something is wrong. You'll notice that Cheetahmen 2 shamelessly recycles the code from the original Cheetahmen, meaning that all sorts of graphical glitches will still be present. In fact, they're a lot worse here. What the hell is this thing? The issue that really kills this piece of shit is the placement of enemies, coupled with the fact that the Cheetahmen can't duck and have problems jumping. You see all these enemies down here, like the wolf, and the worm, and the cockroach? These guys are unkillable. Don't even try. Because Apollo cannot fucking duck, you can only jump over them. But this is also a problem because most of the enemies come in twos. Apollo cannot jump that high, so you always end up taking a good amount of damage. Speaking of damage, look at this amazing health bar. Most of the time I congratulate games for not having one-hit kills, but it's hard to in this game because the health bar is fuck all reliable. How much health do I even have left here? There's no percentage gauge, and the chunks of the bar always come off randomly like in halves or doubles. Also, you'll notice this little score counter here. We'll get back to that later. You spend level 1 trying to escape all these cocksuckers, but it's really hard. Just when you think there's no more enemies, one of the cockroaches comes speeding from the side of the screen and kills you. When you think you can jump on platforms and escape the enemies, you jump off the platforms and you fucking die. Yes, Cheetahmen 2 is a platformer with falling damage. If you've seen a lot of my videos concerning platformers, you'll know that I absolutely hate falling damage. It's also a platformer with jump controls on par with Linus Spacehead. You can barely jump over anything in this game. The Cheetahmen shoots into the air and falls like he has a parachute on his back. Now, after you finally get to the end of level 1, you're just thrown into level 2 in typical Cheetahmen fashion. This level is even worse. Now you have tornadoes as enemies. Tornadoes that can be defeated with a single arrow. You also have a Godzilla ripoff and even more terrible enemy placement. But it's a lot worse in this level. And what's more, these goddamn morons who programmed this game thought that we would all be too stupid to notice that the levels loop. You get the exact same structure of platforms and the same architecture at least twice in a level. I was playing this and I thought I was going backwards. Speaking of backwards, holy shit. In this level, there's a glitch that makes Apollo shoot his arrows backwards. It's like they're coming out of his neck. And you want to talk glitches? Look at this shit. Yeah, that was an invisible coin block just randomly placed there. I found it by complete accident. But why did I? Why wasn't it visible? I have no clue. All I know is that it gives you a higher score. But what does that mean? What can you do with your score? The answer is nothing. And these invisible coin blocks are all over the place, in places where it makes no sense to have them. I'm sorry, Super Mario World ROM hacks, but Cheetahmen 2 was doing invisible coin blocks before it was cool. Once you reach the end of level 2, you're actually greeted by a boss. It's Dr. Morbus, to be exact, who just runs and runs and runs and runs to the side of the screen as you hit him with your arrows. How pathetic. In level 3, your Cheetahmen changes to Hercules. Yeah, that one pussy who could get killed by a toy car in the first game. Well, now he can get killed by a rat. Thankfully, however, the jump glitch from the first game works on this level, and you can get past everything pretty nicely. It's worth noting that using the jump glitch slows the game down substantially for whatever reason, and not just on a computer, it also happens on the original NES cart. Being forced to fight enemies on the ground on this level is the worst part. Hercules has no reach whatsoever, so you have to run into enemies and use your attack to kill them, which often ends up hurting you. And with the placement of enemies here where they can come in 2s or even 3s, you will get hurt no matter what. Finishing this level will transport you to level 3. Yes, you heard me right, there's 2 level 3s in Cheetahmen 2. This level is far worse than the first level 3 because using the jump glitch will cause Hercules to teleport into the floor and explode. This makes using the jump glitch all the more tedious as the game lags and you can't even dodge enemies correctly. These bees are the worst. The jumping is displayed horrendously here, as well as how badly the enemies are placed. Look at this shit! I can't even jump over a worm! Thankfully, this game is about to put me out of my misery. Reaching the end of level 2, we'll engage another boss battle, this time against 8-Man. If you touch 8-Man, you will die. Therefore, the best course of defense is to get behind him, which makes it look like 8-Man is getting cornholed by Hercules. He's not hard to kill, but once you do, it's game over. He vanishes and nothing happens. You don't move on to level 4, which should be level 5. You can't even kill yourself because of these stupid platforms. The only way to get past this glitch is apparently to tilt the cartridge as you start the game, and then you automatically start on level 5. So I guess this marks the end of this review because—
No, it doesn't!
You're back again?
Yes, cocksucker! There's a fixed version of this game!
A fixed version? How do you fix all this?
I don't know, but Paco-chan did it! So play the fucking game!
Bubsy is referring to a ROM hacker by the name of Paco-chan who released a fixed version of Cheetahmen 2 in 2011. I really don't want to, but let's take a look at it. game certainly looks a lot better, that's for sure. The ape-man turns green at the end of his cutscene for a split second too. But how is the actual game? It still fucking sucks. Paco did his best to make things like the garbage health bar and some of the character sprites look good, but at the end of the day, a polished turd is still a piece of shit. And that's not Paco's fault. In fact, what he did with the game was quite remarkable, and the reason I'm even talking about it right now. In this version of Cheetahmen 2, you can make it past level 3, or level 4, whatever the hell it is. It's finally time for me to show you guys level 5. I don't know about you guys, but this sure as hell looks familiar to me. Oh, right. That's because it's level 2 of Cheetahmen 1. These bastards were so lazy that they took one of the levels from the first game and pasted it here. And would you believe? It's not even as good. Why, you ask? There's no Saddam Hussein. He's gone. They replaced him with UFOs and flaming arrows. What the fuck? And Ares' swinging dildos are silver now. You die if you use the jump glitch all the way to the top here, which makes getting through the level a bit painstaking, but it's possible. Then you get to level 6, which is the final level in the game. This is terrible. It's everything wrong with all the other levels combined, and now they throw in birds that move at the speed of a bullet. I'll be honest, I initially rage quit this level, but then I realized that there was no way I was going to get any sort of closure with this piece of shit unless I beat it. So I started the level again, and I fucking did it. I avoided all those stupid birds, I dodged all the flaming arrows, and I made it to the final boss. Who was not Dr. Morbus, who killed the Cheetahman's mother, not the ape man, who was the strongest subhuman created to destroy the Cheetahmen, but Cyborg. If you don't know who that is, don't worry, it's because it's not explained in the damn game. It's barely explained in the comic. Cyborg is another one of Dr. Morbus's cronies. That's right, the final boss of Cheetahmen 2 is a henchman. And what happens when you beat him? Game over. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. It's time to get serious. There's a reason I waited an entire year to review this game. It's because Action 52 and anything like this related to it is the fucking shits. And this game makes it blatantly obvious because it has more bugs than a dead horse's ass in the middle of the summer. It was already bad enough that Active Enterprises expected people to pay $200 for a game that was broken beyond belief, but then they had the balls to attempt a sequel that was even more fucked. I always got the sense that games like these are made just to scam people and make them spend money on bullshit that isn't even play tested. So you know what I have to say to the cocksucking motherfucking lazy assholes who made this? On behalf of anyone who has ever played this game, fuck you. Cheetahmen 2 for the NES gets the final rating of Rest in Piss.